Nazisikia sauti za ushindi, nyota ishawaka ndani ya dakika. usikize matata, usisikize haya mapenzi mini profesa, ujue hiyo hakuna na mambo ya juu. Oh my love, najua Mungu atatulinda, naomba. Oh baby, leo silali, kisha kwake tunatagizia dorime ili hakikisha ya bila sipewe mwingine. Leo silali, kisha kwake tunatagizia dorime natamani ubavu chuma upande mwanaume washinde. Wakati watatupenda refari uliza kupenda wakati watatupenda refari uliza kupenda.
Mambo vipi? Asante sana Alikiba. Asante sana.
Kila siku ndoto yako inaanzia hapa leo. Karibu Mechi College of Health and Allied Sciences kilichopo Nyeshishi jijini Mwanza. Udahili wa mwaka wa masomo 2026-2027 umefunguliwa rasmi. Chagua kozi ya ndoto zako. Diploma ya Health Record and Information Technology, ada ni shilingi milioni 1 kwa mwaka. Diploma ya Pharmacia, ada ni shilingi milioni 1.4 kwa mwaka. Clinical Medicine na Radiology, ada ni shilingi milioni 1.6 kwa mwaka. Ukisoma Mechi unapata mkopo na bumu hadi 100%. Unalipa ada kwa awamu 4. Hosteli ni bure na utajifunza kwa vitendo kwenye maabara zetu za kisasa. Usisubiri kesho, chukua hatua leo. Fika Mechi College Nyeshishi Mwanza. Kwa maelezo piga simu namba 07-850-29817 na 07-921-550-08. Mechi College of Health and Allied Sciences, the global center of health experts.
Dakika za mwisho hizi tusikose hii penati.
Umeme unakatika wakati wa penati.
Baba, huko kwingine umeme umekata, kuna giza.
Ndiyo, sisi tuna uhakika na umeme, si muujiza, ni huduma ya uhakika toka Oceanic Solar.
Umechoka na giza la ghafla? Chagua nishati ya uhakika kutoka Oceanic Solar.
Huduma zetu na vifaa vyetu ni imara, nafuu, endelevu, vya kuaminika na vina ubora mkubwa. Tunaweka mfumo wako haraka na kwa usahihi. Tunahakikisha unapata umeme wa uhakika, mchana na usiku.
Hakika, Oceanic Solar ni suluhisho. Sasa tuna umeme hapa nyumbani wakati wote.
Freezer langu la biashara halizimi, ubaridi wakati wote.
Sisi tumechagua Oceanic Solar.
Huduma ya uhakika kwa biashara na familia yako. Tunapatikana madukani nchi nzima. Chagua Oceanic Solar.
Mkuu wa chuo cha Tabora Polytechnic kilichopo Tabora mjini anawatangazia nafasi za masomo kwa muhula unaoanza hivi karibuni kwa ngazi ya cheti na diploma katika kozi zifuatazo: Clinical Nutrition, Agriculture Production, Pharmaceutical Science, Clinical Medicine, Nursing and Midwifery, Medical Laboratory Science, Community Development, Journalism, Radio and TV Broadcast, ualimu wa chekechea, Information na Communication Technology, Tour Guiding Administration and Hospitality Management, Education Management.
be assisted by Ahmed Arajiga. Azam have had quite the tournament, have they not? Smiles between those two players. Chama Jr. in that midfield for Simba will be absolutely key. He'll be going up against the likes of Yahya and Mao, who will be running that one. Very stable Mendoza and Lawi pairing right there at the back. And Kitambala will be guiding this Azam FC side going forward with some support from Abdul, Faiz and Edie. Abdul Hamis Suleiman and Edie Suleiman Ali on the wings as they try and support Jeff Tabola. That man is a very experienced coach, by the way. He played as a midfielder back in the day, Wits University. He'll be hoping to replicate the form of Stellenbosch 9 years ago. And we're off. It is all about the dream of finally lifting this trophy. It's been way too long for both these sides, to be very honest with you. Azam have had to wait 7 years. This is the first time that they are meeting in the final, but it is not the first time that they are meeting in this tournament. They are well versed with one another, no doubt about that whatsoever. The question is, who can emerge victorious? As we delve into this particular one, Azam have been to this final. They have lost to arch rivals of Simba every single time, but they'll be hoping to put one over the boys in red. And it is Simba that goes forward. Someone who knows this competition or competition similar to this one is right by me. I am with one of the members of the technical bench at Harambee Stars, the national team of Kenya, and a club that is well known around these areas, Tusker FC, also there. He deals with the youth team, so it'll be very interesting to hear his thoughts on this one. He, along with the other technical bench members of Tusker, recently won the equivalent of this cup in Nairobi, the FKF Cup. So he'll be quite fresh and understanding what it takes to be in a final and win. Tusker beating Kenya Police. Right now, though, it is all about Simba and Azam. Anthony Kimani, what an opportunity this game presents for us.
Absolutely. I think it's a big opportunity for both sides, at least to finish their season on a high. The dominance that Yanga has had in this particular competition has made it difficult for Simba and the likes of Azam to get their hands on this particular trophy. But today it will definitely be a different winner, because Azam were eliminated from this particular competition by Azam when they went down 3-2. So big opportunity for Azam to get their hands on paper. Of course, Simba look like the favorite in this particular competition, or rather final, but as you're all aware, finals are an entirely different game altogether. So it's the team that is going to become the team that is going to do the least number of mistakes that will have an upper hand in getting their hands on this coveted trophy.
Speaking of mistakes, this is Azam side that has seen quite a number of yellow cards in this competition. Ten yellow cards so far and a red card, and so they'll be approaching this
that cheaply. So he definitely ought to check his runs a bit better.
Azam, calm as you like at the back. But this one, Aishi Salam says no. Set it all the way back, Rick. All the way. The Simba half.
Kitambala, because of his height, he poses a threat, and a huge one for that matter. Elias Lawi, and of course David Fuentes Mendoza, the two tall centre-backs.
Edi Slimani is the man who will be taking that corner, told to pull the ball further back. Referee refuses to allow him to take that one until the ball is on the line, something that we're seeing as a habit for a lot of players around the world, not just in this particular game, trying to get even an inch of advantage. Referee has none of it, neither will he have anything to do with tolerating the physicality in that box as the defenders try to set up. Ball comes in, lofty cross, simple, easy for Kasali to pick up. Quick release. This is something that Kasali is so well known for. He loves to release his players out very quickly, and that could catch you off guard. Tries to slide that ball in, doesn't, and sets his team up. Transition, and this is a very big concern, is it not?
It certainly is. It certainly is. And in modern day football, goalkeepers' roles, are not the same traditional roles that we used to know. So goalkeepers are also tasked with the responsibility of helping their teams, start those quick counter-attacks. And there's no better keeper to do it than Kasali. He's always well aware of where his teammates are. And the moment he gets his hands on the ball, he can start those really quick counter-attacks with his excellent ball distribution. So that's something that this Azam side need to be wary of, even as they're sending more players forward to try and exploit those set-piece situations. They need to ensure that their rest defense is intact, just so that they can curtail that threat.
It's going to be one of those tight games. That should be a corner kick. It looked like it came off the defender there, but the lineman has other ideas and perhaps saves him. Sindo, here's the replay. Pushes him off. Looked like he could have nicked it or touched his toe at the end, but not enough in there. As I said, it's going to be a tough one. Both sides are not used to conceding goals, at least not in this tournament. Azam coming to this one with a 1-0 win over Edumenti, 1-0 over Mbeya Kwanza, a 4-0 resounding victory over Fountain Gate. Bad day at the office for Fountain Gate. 1-0 win against Mashujaa in the quarterfinals before they wrapped it all up with a 3-2 victory over Yanga, who would eventually go on to win the league title, but would have to settle for missing out in the final, which is not something we would say when it comes to the CRDB Federations Cup. They have been a mainstay in the final, but this time round they have been sent packing. 16 goals for Simba, just one conceded in their run-up to the final. 3-0 against Greenland, 2-0 against B19, 3-1 against Dodoma GG, where they conceded that one goal. TRA United suffered a 4-0 defeat, identical to what Coastal Union suffered in the semi-final, as well as they made their way into this final. Both teams very good at finding the back of the net. 10 goals for Azam, just 2 conceded, 1 from the penalty spot as well. And for Simba, it is those 16 goals and 1 conceded. Here's an opportunity. Sweeper keeper behavior, very smart right there, just plays it out. Simba have an opportunity to come at them yet again.
Yes, a short back pass by Pascal Msindo nearly caught Aisha Salum Manula napping, but quick reaction from him averted a situation that probably would have gifted this Simba side with a clean goal. But earlier on you were talking about the journey that these two teams have had in this particular competition, and both of them have had a convincing run. Of course, Simba scoring the biggest number of goals in 16, Azam scoring 4, but nonetheless both sides seem to have had a dominant performance en route to get to this point.
Getting here is one thing. Now that they're here, they can only imagine being the ones to put their hands on that trophy. But for now, 31 minutes into the game, they've decided to put the boot to that man. He has been
always good to
stellar.
see sportsmanship.
He has been a stellar performer for Azam in that midfield.
Well, despite the fact that these two teams want to get their hands on this trophy, it's always good to see good sportsmanship, as you clearly saw there. You know, Hamid Mao being lifted up, just showing that the tackle was not intentional. And so in as much as they both want to get their hands on this trophy, they still seem to be keeping the spirit of sportsmanship alive.
Faisal, aka Faye Total Salum Abdallah, the man in the midfield. That number 6 man is such a creative player. Knows exactly how to find those spaces. Also lethal going forward. Proven time and again in the Tanzania top league. I'll be hoping to bring that form into this final. He may be penalized there. Panzu moves forward. Protected the ball. They had to bring him down to take it away from him, slow the game down. It looks like Simba now, slowly but surely, starting to get some sense of flow, looking like the more likely of the two to make something happen.
I think defensively both teams have set up themselves really well. You can see that they are both being really compact, denying those tight spaces that the opponents can exploit. And it's not a surprise that we haven't quite seen a good goal scoring opportunity. But I'm pretty sure as the match progresses, then one of the two sides will probably start slacking a little bit, losing concentration, and that's exactly where opportunities start coming from.
That was a great ball from Neo Gift Mahema. He's one of those defenders who can pick those long balls, splitting defenses, overstepping that midfield, and creating a chance, speaking of which, so we're just trying to thread these difficult balls through. Play on, the referee says, advantage to Azam. Azam setting themselves up in a way that it's very difficult for Simba to do what Coach Barker really does love his team to do. Quick, intricate passes through the spaces, a bit of a triangular play. But now it's Azam who come forward, and yet again, they run down those flanks, both sides, but can't seem to do much with the ball in the final third. Can't even seem to get the ball into the 18-yard box. And both sides' defense will be comfortable and happy with that. I'm not so sure it will be the case when it comes to their offensive players.
Good to see Lusajo trying to give his team width and going forward. Because if you're to get enough numbers in the attacking box, then you need your offensive to invite a little bit, and in so doing create space for the fullback to go up. So good to see Lusajo trying to exploit the spaces that are wide. Lusajo showing a bit of desperation there with that long distance shot. Perhaps a clear indication of just how well organized defensively Simba's side is. So the Azam players are starting to feel the heat, and they're trying their luck from a distance.
"11 minutes of normal time in this first half to play. Not many stops, so don't expect to see a considerable amount of added time, at least not now." Things can change very quickly. Lofted in, ooh, the keeper taking out. The referee realizes his own player. He'll stop it now. The medical team being called to come in. Powerful play there from Azam keeper Aishi as he came out to parry away that defense, that dangerous cross that came through.
Yeah, that was a well-weighed cross. David Kameta Definitely floating in a very, very dangerous cross that was begging to be tapped in. But brave goalkeeping from Aisha Manula. Because had he not intercepted that particular cross, it looked like maybe Elim Panzu was going to get to the end of it. But in so doing, of course, ended up colliding with one of his centre-backs. But definitely brave goalkeeping from Aishi Manula.
Immediate and Msindo trying to have a conversation. They feel something more has to change, especially in that midfield, which we've seen Simba growing into. But Mpanzu also feeling the weight of that collision. Oh, it was quite an impact. The fans are out. They will be full of hope. Usually you would see a lot more of a yellow and green in the stands. The rivalry between Simba and Yanga is something worth talking about. They are constantly at each other's neck, trying to get the edge. Mind games, tactical, whether it's on the pitch or off it. In fact, right now, as Simba go after this title, Yanga are elsewhere celebrating their league title. Waikenda will be walking off, the captain feeling the full brunt of that collusion with his keeper, but it looks good to go, and it looks like he will be coming back on. It's a good sight to see. He'll be running to the touchline and hope to come on once the referee gives him a nod. Azam will be hoping he gets that nod rather quickly so that they can be back to the 11 men on the pitch. It was quite an impact. It was a bit of concern there, but it looks like all's well that ends well, and we're back to the game. He is back on. As you can see at the top of your screen, his run back on. We're trying to find a long ball, beautiful long ball, tries to cross it, great defending, easy for Lusayo Moikenda to clear, and now it is an opportunity for Katamba to bring this Azam side forward on the rare occasions that they do. And at this moment, they're just trying to string these passes along, trying to get a grip of this game, and it's not going their way.
That is what Kitambala does really well. Every time his team is under pressure, he can give them a good outlet. He can hold on to the ball and release it at the right time. And when you're trying to soak in pressure, then you definitely need a striker that can give your team a bit of reprieve in those sort of moments and just help your team to reorganize and gather themselves again.
Well, there we go with Faisal. He's brought down. It's one way to stop him, giving him space to run into those spaces. Usually, more often than not, ends up detrimental. Edie will be one of the players who will be standing over that free kick. They have quite the big target in Kitambala, so they'll be looking at that one. Perhaps even Lawi Lamek coming up forward. When it comes to set pieces, they do pose a threat, don't they not?
Definitely. Faisal has been quiet by his standards, but that moment of brilliance shows exactly what he can bring to this Azam side going forward.
Oh, and he just lofted it in, but just couldn't direct his header. Sopo will be looking at that as a half chance, slightly better than that actually. You can see no one picked his run right in the middle of it and manages to rise above them, just couldn't get over the ball, ultimately wide.
Well, definitely a well-floated ball in. The Azam player trying to attack it, but I think questions will be asked about how Simba were defending that particular incident because a lot of their players were rooted on their spot, and it's only two Simba players that were trying to track back and trying to head that ball away, but they were of course overwhelmed in terms of numbers because three Azam players were waiting to get an opportunity to head that ball in. So Simba need to be a bit careful in how they defend their set-piece situations.
Ushine Stanley Derwick, captain of this Simba side, leading from the back, hoping that his fellow players can lead them forward in terms of finding the goals, which have been hard to come by when these two teams meet in this competition. Lofty ball there, trying to catch the center half, snapping. Brilliantly brought down. Brought to a stop this game. Head injury. Referee decides I must attend to the players, and yes, the medical team will be asked to come out. He's holding his head. Let's see what happened here to Guy. Ooh, that must be a sore one.
Yahya Omari will be lucky not to get a yellow card there, because Libase has been quite a handful for a lot of these Azam midfielders. Once he starts cutting in with the kind of speed that he cuts in, there's very little he can do in trying to stop him other than foul him. But they ought to be careful going forward, because if they keep up with that trend, then definitely we're going to see a yellow card coming out soon.
Well, they do have plenty of quality on the bench if they need to call upon it, but it looks like there is no need, as Libase is back on his feet. Easily cleared there by Azam. We're taking no chances either, at least not in this part of the game. Interestingly enough, it is said, as we watch it, Edie going forward, he does find Faisal. Feitoto couldn't find anyone up front. Kitambala running after that one, but too heavy a ball, easy for Torre to see out.
Well, definitely not the sort of ball that Kitambala will be looking to, utilize, because it was played way too wide and made it very difficult for Kitambala to get a hold of it. But certainly Faisal is starting to get into the right spaces in terms of giving those defense-splitting passes. And all he needs is have one good moment where he can play the right pass for Kitambala. And Kitambala has definitely shown time and again that he can be relied upon to get the goals for Azam.
Well, they'll need to come up with some seriously good passes if they are to get any chance of troubling Kasali Jibrilla, who has had a relatively quiet afternoon in goal for the Simba side. But he has a great back four and a very solid team. Their coach Barker, well known across Africa, but this man has been in charge of the national team, who were sensational at the World Cup as well. So Ipege is a man that is known across Africa, Europe and Asia as a master tactician, masterfully getting past Yanga at that 3-2 victory, 10 men down as well, but still managing to come up with the results. Cup games are different from league games, and we saw that in their subsequent fixture. Easy for Elias Lawi Lamek to find his keeper. Salim Manula as well hasn't exactly had the toughest day in office, as these two teams have seemingly felt each other out throughout the course of the first half. It's always a tight affair when they meet in this competition, more so expected when they meet right here in the final. In fact, Azam have not lost a final in which they have faced any opposition apart from Yanga. And I say that with a pinch of salt, of course, because they haven't exactly faced any other opposition apart from Yanga, mainly, apart from their one win in this competition. And that one coming back in 2018-2019 season when they beat Lipuli 1-0. It's the first time these two are meeting, and they are seemingly weighing each other out. Rather physical game. Again, the ball brought to a stop.
Well, Azam are definitely the new kids on the block. They've come to upset the status quo. They've come to see whether they can curtail the dominance that Simba and Yanga has had in terms of getting their hands on the silverwares that are always available in the Tanzanian league, whether that's the Tanzanian Premier League or the League Cup as well. It has always been Simba and Azam and Yanga that have dominated, but this time round, of course, Azam seems to want to claim their hands on the prize.
Salim Manula trying to organize his defense there off the chest. Some feeble attempts of claiming a handball. Decides to go through the defense, brought down, perhaps could have played the ball wide. That is exactly what it seems Pascal is telling Edie. Should have played the ball wide. That's a yellow card as well for David Kameta for bringing Edie down. It's a yellow card that he may complain about, but that was a professional foul. He knew he was in trouble, and you don't want to give him some green in front of him. Although he baited the referee there, it seems like it was minimal contact. It almost seems as if Kameta was trying to pull out of that challenge. That's what he's trying to tell the referee. I tried to get out of the way, but the referee decides that yellow suits you. Yellow looks good on you, and gives him that yellow card. And so here's another opportunity. 2 minutes of added time. Neither side able to really trouble their opposition. Neither side able to really test the goalkeepers. Azam, for them, it's been long shots. As we see there, Himidi Mao Mukami trying to bring them forward. Great defending, but it falls to Edie. Goalkeeper trying to tell his teammates to push a bit forward. They're ceding space. Edie is still probing. Azam in the dying embers of this first half, seemingly probing. Ooh, a bit of a poor pass there. Msindo unable to control it, and they lose out. Msindo has remained on the ground. The referee has blown the whistle for half-time. It has been a tight affair right here. It has been a difficult one to call. Gobani Stadium will be hoping to erupt at some point with goals. But for now, it is conversations between the center halves. You've seen right there on your screen, Fuentes and Lawi. Speaking of defenders, Rek has not had too much to do as well. Neither has any member of that back four. For Simba, like I said, it was a situation in which they nil, Azam nil.
Je, mwanao anasoma wapi? Na je, anapata maandalizi sahihi kwa maisha yake ya baadaye? Karibu Imperial Secondary School, mahali tunapojenga msingi wa mafanikio. Tunawapa wanafunzi elimu bora, malezi bora, pamoja na ujuzi wa maisha na kijamii, life and social skills. Kwa sababu mafanikio ya kesho huanza na uchaguzi wa leo. Karibu Imperial Secondary School. Fomu za kujiunga kidato cha kwanza mwaka 2027 zinapatikana sasa. Wasiliana nasi kupitia simu namba 0757000700 au tembelea tovuti yetu www.imperial.ac.gz. Jiunge nasi leo.
Nirgon Trading Limited, wauzaji na wasambazaji wa bidhaa bora na original kabisa za Ronix kutokea Ujerumani hapa nchini Tanzania. Bidhaa za Ronix ni pamoja na vifaa vya migodini, ujenzi viwandani na kazi nyepesi, yani Antos. Bidhaa za Ronix zinaaminika sana duniani katika ubora na kudumu zaidi ya miaka 30. Nirgon Trading Limited inakupa warantia mwaka mmoja ya ubora wa bidhaa. Tunatoa huduma baada ya manunuzi, yani after sale service. Bidhaa za Ronix ni imara na hudumu zaidi. Tembelea ofisi zetu zilizopo mtaa wa Nkuru Huduma Posta, Dar es Salaam. Kwa maelezo zaidi tupigie simu namba 0750075075.
Dakika za mwisho hizi tusikose hii penati.
Umeme umekatika wakati wa penati.
Baba, huko kwingine umeme umekata, kuna giza.
Ndiyo, sisi tuna uhakika na umeme, si muujiza, ni huduma ya uhakika toka Oceanic Solar.
Umechoka na giza la ghafla? Chagua nishati ya uhakika kutoka Oceanic Solar.
Huduma zetu na vifaa vyetu ni imara, nafuu, endelevu, vya kuaminika na vina ubora mkubwa. Tunaweka mfumo wako haraka na kwa usahihi. Tunahakikisha unapata umeme wa uhakika mchana na usiku.
Hakika, Oceanic Solar ni suluhisho. Sasa tuna umeme hapa nyumbani wakati wote.
Friza langu la biashara halizimi, ubaridi wakati wote.
Sisi tumechagua Oceanic Solar.
Huduma ya uhakika kwa biashara na familia yako. Tunapatikana madukani nchi nzima. Chagua Oceanic Solar.
Wakala ya mafunzo ya mifugo LITA inawatangazia wahitimu wa kidato cha 4 na 6 wenye sifa za kuomba kujiunga na kozi mbalimbali za mifugo zinazotolewa katika kampasi za Tengeru, Buhuri, Mpwapwa, Morogoro, Madaba, Temeke, Mabuki na Kikulula. Kozi zinazotolewa ni astashahada na stashahada ya afya na uzalishaji wa mifugo, astashahada na stashahada ya teknolojia ya maabara ya mifugo, astashahada na stashahada ya uendelezaji wa nyanda za malisho na teknolojia ya vyakula vya mifugo. Kozi zote zinazotolewa na LITA zinakidhi vigezo vya kupata mkopo unaotolewa na Bodi ya Mikopo ya Elimu ya Juu. Sifa za mwombaji: wawe na elimu ya kidato cha 4 au kufaulu angalau masomo manne kwa alama D, au elimu ya kidato cha 6 awe na angalau subsidiary 2 za masomo ya sayansi NVA level 3 au trade test 1. Maombi yatumwe kwa njia ya mtandao au fika katika kampasi ya LITA iliyo karibu nawe. Mwisho wa kupokea maombi ni tarehe 10 mwezi wa 7 2026. Watu wote mnakaribishwa.
Naam, ni Kipumbwi Satellite City, mradi wa viwanja vya kimkakati uliopo karibu na bandari ya Kipumbwi, mbuga ya Sadani, soko la samaki na kiwanda cha kukaushia dagaa. Pia uwekeze Kipumbwi Satellite City iliyosheheni vivutio vya utalii ili watalii kutoka Zanzibar waje kujivinjari wakielekea kaskazini kutembelea vivutio vinginevyo.
Mradi huu wa viwanja vya Kipumbwi ambao ni kilomita 3 tu kutoka bahari ni kiungo muhimu sana cha usafirishaji baina ya Zanzibar na mkoa wa Tanga, lakini vile vile kufuatia ujenzi wa barabara mpya ya lami itapita pale Kipumbwi mpaka Dar es Salaam. Itafungua sana mkoa wetu.
Na huyo ni Balozi Dr. Baltilde Salhaburiani kwa mkoa wa Tanga. Bei ya viwanja vya makazi ni kuanzia milioni 2. Beach plot inapatikana. Kumbuka, kampuni ya Makazi Solution imeshafanya kazi na halmashauri zaidi ya 15 pamoja na kamisheni ya ardhi Zanzibar. Kwa maelezo zaidi piga simu namba 0750333338.
Je, unatafuta kozi za vitendo zenye fursa za ajira? Chuo cha Wakala ya Elimu na Mafunzo ya Uvuvi VETA chenye kampasi Bagamoyo, Mwanza na Kigoma kinakutangazia nafasi za masomo katika ngazi ya cheti na stashahada katika kozi zifuatazo: uvuvi na ubaharia, uhandisi wa mitambo ya bahari na majikofu, uchakataji wa samaki, ubora na masoko, teknolojia ya ukuzaji viumbe kwenye maji, usimamizi wa mazingira na rasilimali za pwani, usimamizi wa uvuvi na teknolojia pamoja na sayansi ya uvuvi na teknolojia. Kwa mhitimu wa kidato cha 4 awe na angalau alama D4 au zaidi, na wa kidato cha 6 awe na principal pass 2. Kozi zote zinakidhi vigezo vya mikopo ya elimu ya juu na chuo kimesajiliwa na NACTVET. Kwa maelezo zaidi na fomu za kujiunga, tembelea tovuti ya VETA www.feta.ac.tz. Nyote mnakaribishwa.
Na dakika 45 za kipindi cha kwanza hazipo kwenye mchezo wa fainali kombe la shirikisho la CRDB kati ya Simba dhidi ya Azam. Na hiki unachokiona hapa ni takwimu ambazo zimepatikana baada ya mchezo huo kuchezwa kwa dakika 45. Tunaenda kuzijadili kwa kina hapa na wachambuzi ambao kwa hapa studio. Yupo Amri Kiemba, Frank Domayo pamoja na Abisai Steven Jr. tukizungumza kile ambacho kimetokea. Lakini kwa kawaida mpira wa miguu ni mpira ambao unahitaji magoli, lakini kama shuti lilolenga lango katika dakika 45 za kipindi cha kwanza ni moja, inaonekana kuna sehemu imefungwa. Kiemba, ni wapi pamefungwa? Shoot on targets hazipatikani.
Unaweza kuona idadi ya watu ambao wanapatikana nyuma ya mpira kila timu moja inapokuwa haina mpira. Kwa hiyo tunaweza tukawa tumetazama mechi ambayo mpaka sasa hivi una wakumlaumu kwamba kuna nafasi umepata na umeshindwa kuitumia. Ilikuwa ni mapambano ya 50 kwa 50 ndio mengi kuliko nafasi ya mtu ambaye anaweza akaitumia. Kwa hiyo hatushangazwi na takwimu hizo za shuti moja kwa ndio limelenga mlango kwenye mchezo wote, lakini tazama dakika 45 ni mashuti mangapi yamepigwa, utagundua ni mashuti 6. Mashuti 6 kwa dakika 45, unaweza kuona kwa kiasi gani mpira ulikuwa unachezwa zaidi. Hata takwimu hizo za asilimia ya umiliki, utaona waliomiliki sana ni mabeki ndio ambao wamemiliki sana mpira kuliko wachezaji wanaocheza nafasi za ushambuliaji.
Domayo, tunazungumza fainali na kila kocha huwa anakuja na mpango wake jinsi ya kucheza hii fainali. Wanaicheza kiuoga ama wanacheza kwa kuheshimiana?
Mimi nafikiria labda ni mechi ambayo yani haina hadhi ya fainali. Naweza nikasema hivyo kwa sababu
mpaka dakika 45
mpaka dakika 45 ni mechi ambayo kama kila mtu alikuwa anamhofia mwenzake. Yani ukiangalia ni mpira umechezwa sana nyuma katikati. Na nafasi hizo zilizopatikana hizo za shoot hizo yani hazijaleta madhara sana. Kwa hiyo ni mechi ambayo kwanza kila yani watu walivyoitarajia na ilivyokuja ni tofauti. Yani labda kipindi cha pili wanaweza kubadilika, lakini kwa kipindi cha kwanza mechi ya fainali bado hajatupa mechi ya fainali. Nafikiria labda kipindi cha pili wanaweza wakaja kila timu kwa sababu kashamsoma mwenzake kuhakikisha kwamba wana push zaidi, kwa sababu kipindi cha pili ina maana hauna cha kupoteza. Na fainali lazima mmoja afungwe. Sasa nilitarajia labda tangu kipindi cha kwanza mechi inaanza labda kuna zile unaona kabisa timu ina pesi juu, yani kuhakikisha kwamba inapata matokeo, lakini haikuwa hivyo. Nadhani kila mwalimu labda kaamua kumwangalia kwanza mwenzake atakujaje, afu yeye ndo waje kipindi cha pili yani. Kwa hiyo naona ni mechi ambayo kwanza ilikuwa imepoa, labda kipindi cha pili inaweza ikawa mechi nzuri.
Abisai, kama kila mwalimu ataamua kwenda na wachezaji hawa ambao wametokana kipindi cha kwanza karudi nao kipindi cha pili, ina maana kwamba anaweza kubadilisha mpango wa timu yake kucheza. Kitu gani ambacho nakitarajia kwa kocha Froli Benge, lakini pia kwa kocha Steve Barker kama atarudi na timu hii ambayo ameenda nayo mapumziko?
Simba wana on target moja na wana umiliki mkubwa wa mpira. Tafsiri yake wameshindwa kufungua defense ya Azam na kuwafunga. Kwa nini inashindikana? Kimba amezungumza vizuri. Idadi kubwa ya wachezaji wanaokaa kwenye box, lakini inawezekana kwa sababu Simba wanataka kupita katikati. False 9 ya Mpanzu, Kratos Chama, Libase Gea ameshaingia kwa ndani. Hapo kwenye video iliyotoka, yeye na Anicent Ora wanania mpira kwenye corridor moja kwa moja kwenye usawa goal. Pale kuna wachezaji wengi sana, mpaka kuwapita si rahisi sana. Lakini kama ni mpango kubadilisha idea, angalau basi wa stretch kwenye mapana uwanja, Libase acheze karibu na mstari na mwenzake, ili hawa madefenders wa Azam waweze kutanuka kwa tahadhari kusubiri wanaotoka pembeni. Hapo unaweza kupata nafasi za Chama zile ambazo huwa amekuwa mzuri, kwa sababu anaona nafasi kati ya beki moja na mwingine, kiungo na mwingine. Lakini hapo wanapocheza katikati sana inakuwa ngumu. Kwa hiyo cha kwanza ni hiyo idea ya kubaki kwenye mapana kwa upande wa Simba. Lakini Azam hana on target. Kumbe shida yake yeye kazidiwa umiliki, lakini kazidiwa na uwezo wa kwenda kufanya shambulizi la hatari. Mpira ambao wanatumia kutoka ni pasi moja ndefu kwenda kwa kitambala. Sawa, na mwili mkubwa anaweza kautuliza kwanza, lakini anajikuta yuko na mabeki wawili.
Kuna tukio hili ambalo pia wakati tunatazama mechi hii tumejikuta kwa kila mtu akiwa kwenye mazungumzo tofauti. Nikianza na Kiemba Domayo afu baadaye Abisai. Kiemba, ni tukio ambalo unaliona lilikuwa na tafsiri ya kile ambacho refaria amekifanya?
Na hapana. Mimi naona ni kweli kitambala amezuiwa asitekeleze kile ambacho angeweza kukitekeleza. Kwa mwamuzi kumpa kadi ya njano na kuhisi kwamba alikuwa anamdanganya, nadhani amemnyima haki ambayo alikuwa anastahili kuipata.
Domayo, tukio
kitambala amini Ismail Tule amemlaghai vizuri sana mwamuzi. Ndio maana mwamuzi kaingia kwenye mtego. Kwa sababu kwa umbali hapana, hatua 5 hazivuki.
Mwamuzi
aliona Ismail Tule alivyokuwa mguu wa kushoto na paja lake hapo anamzuia kitamba, alafu anawahi kutoka kwa mikono, anamwambia mwamuzi sijamshika wala sitaki kufanya chochote. Alafu muda ambao anafanya hivyo na kumwachia kitamba ndo anakuja anaanguka.
Amemudu mechi mwamuzi.
Mechi ijayo na matukio makubwa, akisema umwite mwamuzi kuangalia ameofficiate vipi. Tukio kama hili kwa kubwa sana, na kuna debate kama kuna VAR tungeanza kuangalia, je, madhambi ni juu ya mstari kwa maana ya ndani au ni nje? Hapo ndio ingeweza kuwa debate. Ila kwa engo hii naona kuna eneo la kwanza mpira kitamba la maugusa nje, anavogeuka kwenda bado nje kidogo, amekuja kuanguka ndani. Kwa kama ni foul ingepigwa hapo kwenye hapo nje ya mstari hapo. Kwa hiyo ndo discussion ingekuwa kama tungekuwa tuna VAR. Lakini kwa kitendo cha kumuonyesha kadi, nadhani mwamuzi aliadahiwa na mikono na Ismail Ture, ndio ambavyo alikataa tukio haraka kumwambia mwamuzi huyu mtu mimi sijamshika. So unaona hiyo distance huwezi kuvuka zile hatua 7-6 za kutembea kwa mtu mzima kubwa zile kutoona hilo tukio, kwa sababu eneo la kwanza la kumjudge referee unaangalia kwanza umbali ule kuepo, je na tukio likoje, alafu tunaangalia engo, analiona zima vizuri au analiona upande. Kwa mfano hapa imekana Kiemba kwa upande, hapa kuna Domayo katikati. Tukio linatokea kwa Kiemba, mimi nataka niliangalia lishapita, mimi siwezi kuliona, lakini wewe na kuona kwa usawa mzuri. Hapa naweza kuofficiate kwa distance hii, lakini alikuwa karibu, naona ile sijamshika, ndio ilikuwa
Kiemba ndo hapo na hajaliona tukio.
Kiemba wakati tunarejea uwanjani
kama hujatoka assistant namba 2 nadhani pia alikuwa na nafasi ya kumsaidia.
Haikuwa, lakini kwa upande wake
yupo kule kushoto, ni nafasi yake kushoto kule, kuna assistant namba 2.
Kuangalia kwa upande ule ingekuwa ni ngumu sana,
lakini kwa sasa hivi umetumika, ilikuwa ni kazi.
Ilikuwa ni kazi. Lakini kwa sasa hivi tuelekee kwenye uwanja wa Gombani Pemba kushuhudia dakika 45 za kipindi cha pili. Kutakuwa na nini?
Kipindi cha pili muda wote kinaenda kuanza katika dimba hili la Gombani Pemba, fainali ya kombe la shirikisho la CRDB Bank. Dakika 45 za kiume, hakuna bao kwa timu zote mbili. Nixon Kibabage akipanda mara kadhaa.
Well, the two teams are coming back in for the second half. It is currently scoreless at this CRDB Bank Federation's Cup final, pitting Azam up against Simba. No goals in a rather tight affair in the first half. A few chances for Azam, one which they thought should have been a free kick, but it was not. Kitambala getting a yellow card, actually. They have another 45 minutes for the fans, the respective fans of these two teams. They will be hoping that things could be wrapped up in 90 minutes, as do the players. For the purists, they will be enjoying football regardless of 90, 120 minutes. For those who are thrill seekers, a penalty shootout looming in the background is not exactly such a bad thing. But for the rest of us, we just want to enjoy a great game of football. That is what is coming your way right here on Azam TV. Anthony Kimani, coach, former player of the national team and a number of teams in the Kenya top-tier league, who's coaching now one of the teams in the Kenya top-tier leagues, as well as being part of the coaching setup for the national team, is here by my side.
Your future.
What an opportunity to use to set yourself up for a potential job. I like it, Anthony Kimani. Grab the opportunity when you have it. That's exactly what these two sides will be looking to do. And he goes down rather easily. This is a problem for Azam as they try. He goes wide to his right. They brought the numbers back in, and it is difficult for Mpanzu to find any way past the defense. But what an opportunity that was.
Yeah, I think that would have been the perfect moment for the Simba side to break the deadlock today. During those transition moments from defending to attacking, a team is always defensively unbalanced. So that would have been the better moment to exploit and probably get something. But of course, Eli Mpanzu took a bit too long, and that gave the Azam defenders enough time to recover and of course deflect it, or rather block it for a corner.
AD cutting a confused figure. He thought he should have had that foul for him given, but it wasn't. Simba played on. Luckily, no punishment for them. And now it's an opportunity for Fuentes Mendoza to pick himself up as the likes of Lawi are trying to organize the back line. So much talking with the referee. Kitambala there trying to assert his physical presence and defensive duties as well.
Kitambala finding his match in Ismail Toure.
The referee will have none of it. He's already on a yellow card. Of course, one that you would say was a difficult one for him to, a rather unnecessary one for him to be given. We expect a lot of pushing and shoving, and the referee is right there just keeping an eye on Kitambala as well as Oliver Toure. Big lads trying to find the better of each other, and we still haven't seen that corner taken. Referee just trying to play a referee in a boxing match. Kitambala saying, are you keeping an eye on this, while at the same time keeping his hands on Toure. And now we finally get that corner kick to come in. Low, wasteful corner, easy for ED to clear, makes a meal of it, and now allows Simba a second chance. Better delivery. Could have been a terrible one. Was that Waikera?
I think Libeseke is quite dangerous. Every time he gets an opportunity to loft those in-swingers, they do seem to be quite dangerous. And of course, another opportunity for him to take that long-range shot. So if there's a player that these Azam side need to be wary of, it's definitely one Libeseke. He seems to possess a lot of quality in terms of dribbling, and of course in terms of floating in those very dangerous in-swingers.
Simba trying to bring in Yusuf Ali Kagoma more into this game so that they can control opportunities. A very physical challenge right there. We've seen plenty of those physical challenges coming through from Moikenda. This time the referee decides you will be receiving a yellow card. That's the second yellow card of the game, second one for Azam, and it is to the captain.
Well, definitely you don't want to receive a yellow card this early into a final, and more so when you're a defender, because it makes your life difficult. As a defender, you'll be called upon to make some tackles, and so this time around you'll have to ensure that all your tackles are timely, because in the event that you get one foot wrong, you give your team a Herculean task by playing one man less.
Speaking of timely, back with possession, tries to run through professional, almost tired foul there from Maema, and Maema again a flurry of more so fouls of frustrations coming through from both sides.
I think Leo Gift Mayam understands very well that it's in those sort of moments that the tide of the game can easily change. Once you let somebody go past you that easily, and more so in those transition moments where your team is probably unbalanced at the back, those moments can be quite costly, and that's why he felt that he needed to take one for the team, and in so doing ensuring that the Azam players don't have a good attack.
There we go. Simba coming forward, not able to make anything come of it. Libase, the man who tried to find that through pass to the right. But Azam clearly aware of it. That foul on Toto from the back. Amazing how these players are stunned when a call is made of them. Miami already cautioned, has to be a bit more careful, and this is what you were talking about, Anthony.
Definitely. These fouls are getting one too many, are becoming one too many. Just shows that the game is getting a little bit intense, a little bit heated. No side wants to see ground, no side wants to give each other, or rather the other team, the opportunity to control the game and to create meaningful goal-scoring opportunities, and in so doing, they're ending up committing way too many fouls.
Slow build-up from Azam now. Sajo on the ball, finding Mao. Mao sending it back to the man who controls the midfield, Faisal. Back to Sajo, a little bit of intricate passing between the three of them. Triangular play, not doing much with the ball, not moving forward per se. Sends it all the way back to Yaya, who finds his fellow defender. Swinging the ball from the right now to the left. The pressure forcing Lawi to take it all the way back.
I think if this Azam side are to create any meaningful goal-scoring opportunities, then they need to get Faisal Saloom on the ball a little bit more, because he's a creative spark in this Azam side, but he hasn't quite been getting the sort of balls that you'd expect him to get, in a more advanced position where he can unlock the opponent's defenders, or rather defense line.
Kibabage bringing Edie down, and it'll be a free kick to Azam. Edie seemingly starting to get more and more involved in this particular game, and that's what you want to see, especially with his pace and his trickery. The ball at his feet, he is quite the force to reckon with, and Simba are taking absolutely no gambles with him, but it is he who will be sending this free kick in. We know the usual target men, so does Kasau. Jabrila concerned about this one. All eyes on Edie. Referee once again called to try and bring some professional peace. There's a player down in the box. A lot of play acting, especially now with protection and most rules trying to just phase off this physicality at set pieces in the box when it comes to corners or free kicks. It's too big for him to clutching his abdomen and probably looking for Yahya to get in trouble. It won't. Edie with an opportunity to create something here. In swinger, easy picking for Kasau.
Yeah, good goalkeeping definitely for Kasau. He knew that the ball was his for the taking, came out, was very strong, commanded his position really well and claimed that easily, and in so doing they faced what would have been probably a dangerous situation for Simba.
Simba with yet another almost hopeful cross into the danger area. Just maybe hoping that someone can find themselves in the right position. Chama hasn't exactly stomped his authority in this particular game. They'll be looking to get him more involved.
I think Libasi has been floating in really good balls from the right flank. Those in-swingers can be quite dangerous, but the only way they can be dangerous if there are oncoming players that are trying to attack it. But Aniset Ali Naura and Elim Panzu.
Edie goes wide. Oh, a bicycle kick there. Slowly, agonizingly slowly past that far upright. But what a try there. More of a spectacular one. Gets the applause of Coach Ibege. You'll be happy to see that one. Arguably one of the more spectacular life-breathing opportunities that Azam have created in this match.
Absolutely. A very good cross from Lusajo, right from the right-hand side. And of course, Jafta Kitambala, or rather Himidi Mao, was in a very, very good position and attempted that spectacular. That probably would have been a goal of the season in this particular competition had that gone in.
Well, looks like Rushina de Reuka's on the ground trying to get Kitambala in trouble, but the referee, already having given this man a yellow card, decides, let's get up, let's get this game going. Still have quite some way to go. He's onside, clearly onside, tries to bring it down on his left foot. Doesn't work out. Too many bodies around him, but earns his team a corner kick.
Yeah, good reaction from Elias Lawi. He definitely tracked that particular run very, very well and made it sure that it was very difficult for Chacha Kitambala, or rather for Elim Panzu, to have an opportunity to take a strike on goal.
Another one of those Simba crosses, another easy picking for Salum Manula. Another one begging. The fans of Simba probably getting edgier and edgier as they see the clock waning down. Not exactly the exciting start to the second half that they would have been hoping after that halftime break. An opportunity for both coaches to have a chat with their players, review the plan, see if change needs to be done, try and figure out what weak areas the opponents have, capitalize on it. What do you say to players at halftime in a game such as this?
Well, I think both coaches would be happy with how their teams have performed up to this particular point, because I wouldn't say that there's any team that has created many goal-scoring opportunities that should really, really worry their opponent. They all seem to be in control of the situation. At no point have you felt that Azam and neither have you felt that Simba were in trouble. I think they've all been able to control the proceedings really, really well up to this point. So I don't think any coach would be worried or would be quick to try and make any substitution. But of course, as we head towards maybe the 70th minute, fatigue will start creeping in, and at that point, coaches will probably be forced to make a change or two.
So goes the old saying, old adage, one man's meat is another man's poison. While the coaches will be happy with the situation of this game, fans will be desiring goals. They don't want the whole tactical security and happiness with the coach. No, they're just willing their team to go forward. Majority of the fans in the stadium right now, obviously, Gobani filled mainly with Simba fans. It's the same afternoon in which, as we were saying during the first half, these two teams, Simba and Yanga, their rivalry is unique. Yanga going out and ensuring that their celebrations for winning the league would happen in the same afternoon that Simba would be going into this final, just to try and take some attention away from them. Attention fully given there. Brought down. Chama not being given.
Pascal Sindo.
Pascal not being given.
Committing a needless foul. I would say that that's lazy defending. He clearly would have caught up with Gay, but decided to take the easier route, and that was to foul Gay, and in so doing has given them an opportunity, set piece opportunity, in a very precarious position.
Panzu, the man who is entrusted with leading the front line, instead stands over that one. Will be the man entrusted, at least for this moment, to send in an in-swinger. Favors his right boot as well. 80 in that two-man wall. Salum trying to get stuff organized. Panzu takes it. Gets over the wall and into the back of the net. What an opportunity taken. This is what he has been waiting for. Coach Barker punches the air. Azam look into the air, wondering how that went in. Simba offer prayers. To this one, but it is the lion that is roaring. In this final 62nd minute it took before Simba finally found the back of the net, and they know what that means. They know how many finals have been decided on a single solitary goal. They know this could be that moment. What in heaven's name happened? Own goal, it does not matter. It is one that Simba will take with a smile on their face.
They certainly will. Set pieces are increasingly becoming an integral part of football, and any team that gets their job well done in this aspect of the game will always have an edge over their opponents. In that particular instance, of course, Simba floating in a very, very dangerous ball that left it, or rather that made it very, very difficult for the Azam defenders to be able to clear it decisively.
62nd minute of this particular final, and Simba finally find that goal. They lead this one 1-0. Yaya Zaidi, the man who scores that own goal and puts a bit of rain to the parade of Yanga, who will definitely be following this one. They will know that Simba are leading, dampen their mood perhaps, concern for Azam, and we are on in the 2026 CRDB Bank Federations Cup Final. 1-0 to Simba. Azam with all to do, and now they have to come out and play.
Yes, I think now their job is well cut out. They cannot afford to sit back a little bit more, or rather more than they've already had in this particular game. They've already conceded a goal. They now have to come out. And so it's going to be very interesting to see how Florent Ibenge is going to probably change the strategy of the team. Whether he's going to use the same players and probably just change the tactical approach that they've got, or whether he'll have to do a few substitutions just to pile a bit more pressure on Simba.
It'll be concern for Florent Ibenge and Azam, as Simba have conceded just once against Dodoma Jiji in the run-up to this final. In the process, quarters and semis, back-to-back 4-0 victories. Once they get going, they get going. And Azam have a mountain to climb. But an opportunity presents itself now. Set piece is one of the things that they will be looking forward to. Kitambala there, as usual, his fight alongside the likes of Deruik and Toure. Oh, it's a header! Referee blows. There must have been an impediment, with Kitambala being accused of holding the jersey. Immediately trying, pulling down that jersey. I never understand how players do that at this particular moment. Look at that. He was judged to be fouling. What do you make of it?
I honestly didn't see anything wrong there with Kitambala just, going high up and directing that ball towards target, unless there was another infringement in there. But I don't think Kitambala did anything wrong in that particular incident. But it just goes to show the edge that this Azam has when it comes to attacking set pieces. Of course, his height is going to be quite crucial if they're to get something out of set pieces. Azam definitely showing the sort of response that we expected from them after conceding that particular goal. They've been piling pressure. Of course, they've already had a corner, and you can see that they're still trying to make inroads into Simba's attacking third, or rather defensive third.
Benge has been in situations like this before. Barker has been in situations like this before. He'll probably be the happier of the two. Can't tell it from the look on his face. Benge might just have to make a few changes, whether tactical or in terms of personnel. Moikeda not happy at all. Done with arguing with the referee. Goes to the fourth official. The frustrations and body language tells you just how difficult this game is now for Azam. They are trailing a side that does not know how to concede. A side that was in it when it came to the league to the very last day. they chase down that league title. They couldn't manage to get it, but with the absence of Yanga in this final of the competition, the CRDB Bank Federations Cup, Simba will fancy themselves, and so far they've done themselves quite a huge favor. Oh, risky there from Hamid. But they get away with it, and now they have an opportunity to push the ball a bit further up the pitch. The referee stops it, and there's a red card. It is a straight red. When it rains, it pours. Kitambala already in trouble. Faye has been sent off. Kitambala, incensed, is attacking the referee verbally. Trying to show his dissent in that decision. Faye walking back, waiting to see. Referee was very quick to reach into his back pocket, bring out that red card, ignoring the protest from Hamid, from Lawi. Kitambala himself was on a yellow. You don't want to risk getting it worse for yourself. Oh, it was that swing. It was that swing right there from Faisal Salum. Almost like a punch. You don't do that as a player. He invited that. Violent conduct, red card. Plenty to think about for Ibenge. And an even higher mountain to climb for Azam.
Well, as hard as this might be for Azam to take in, I think Faisal Salum understands the laws all too well. Violent play can only get one card from the referee, and that is a red card. So I think this Azam side now has a tall order, but if there's a side that knows how to get results even with one man less, then it's definitely this Azam side. We saw them winning against Yanga in the semi-finals, with one man less. So let's just see whether they can repeat that feat today here against Simba.
Look at that. He felt impeded, frustrated, having gone down. Punches. The first connects, the second barely. The technical bench trying to get the fourth official to look at the screen. I don't know what screen they're looking at, but it is evidently violent conduct. From where we sit, it is a straight red. Difficult to fault the referee. Rules are rules. And now it's an opportunity for Simba to rule with the man advantage. Second red card in as many matches for this Azam side. When it rains, it pours, and right now it is pouring for the Azam side. They have won this competition just once before. And as things stand, it's looking less and less likely that they will add to that tally. And for Simba, it is looking more and more like a reality as they look to bring it home.
Yes, it's starting to look more like reality, but they will understand very well that this is far from over, because I'm pretty sure they were following the proceedings when Azam played against Yanga, and they saw what Yanga can do, even with one man less. So I'm pretty sure they're not going to be deceived with the fact that they will have superiority in terms of their numbers today. They know that Azam is a side that can turn things around. I think that's Ngamondi, the Tanzanian national team coach, following the proceedings there.
Had the pleasure of hanging out with the national team coach, Coach Miguel. Brilliant football mind as well. You'll be looking at these players with one goal in mind, and that is to find players that would fit into his national team as they prepare alongside Uganda and Kenya, Harambee Stars and Cranes, joining Taifa Stars and hosting the 2027 Africa Cup of Nations, the Pamoja bid. Everyone looking forward to it, and a lot of people believing this could be one of those Africa Cup of Nations that could be memorable. Substitution there for Simba. Injury. On comes Anthony. Anthony Richard Mugo. Off goes Nixon Kibabage. Relatively like for like?
Yes, definitely like for like. It's a forced substitution. It looked like Nixon Kibabage was struggling with a niggling injury. And of course, with one man playing with a team that has got one man less, you don't want to take any risks at the back. So definitely a like for like substitution, just ensuring that things remain as they were at the back. That back four has so far done very well in repulsing all the Azam attacks that we've witnessed so far.
Starting to see Simba starting to press the ball a bit higher. They are one man heavier, and so they feel that they could win majority of the duel. And himself in problems. Chama goes wide, back to Chama, run down his right, chooses not to go for it, and instead finds Gift, who decides to try his luck when your team is leading 1-0 and you are a man up. The stars, the lights, the camera, the action gets to you, and you're rather confident you can try it from anywhere. It looks like Kagoma is on the ground as the play is brought to a halt yet again. No major concerns for Barker, but slight concerns.
If Kagoma goes out, that is going to be the second player that is probably going to be forced out by what seems to be an uncomfortable condition, which we haven't quite established what that is. Looks like Azam also preparing to make a double substitution.
Ibege, the coach who is well versed with African football, has done it in the Champions League final, getting there with Vita. He's been keeping a keen eye on Kitamba, who's been very, very feisty, already seeing one of his men going out, deciding to do a double substitution. In this case, on comes jersey number 19, Jean-Jacques Kamanga Ngita. He is another player that is full of goals and marauding runs, not to mention the height, which could pose a bit of an aerial problem for a Simba side that's already struggling as well.
Well, it looks like Azam are probably trying to make a few substitutions that are probably going to give them the attacking impetus that they certainly and desperately need. With quarter of an hour left on the clock, Coach Florenti Benge seems to be saying it's now or never.
Fresh legs being introduced by Benge. They will need to get this ball up quicker in terms of trying to find some more playing time in the final third of this Simba side that have been resilient throughout the course of this game. Two sides who have been tough, separated by an own goal from Yahya. Simba gaining from that own goal, followed up with a red card for violent conduct for Faisal Salum Abdallah. Added numbers into that midfield. And jersey number 5 right here, all the way on the right side, but Mendoza decides to go back to that left flank, trying to pry this Simba side open, decide to go long. Kitambala goes down, clutching his head, trying to get the referee to show some pity, if not understanding. A referee deciding to say, understand this, I will not be fooled. Oh, rather feisty tackle there.
I think Azam ought to be a bit careful, because they are starting to be a bit careless with the sort of tackles that are flying in. And when you're one man less, you surely don't want things to go from bad to worse. So they need to keep their emotions in check because they still have a considerable amount of time that, if used well, can yield some fruits. And when you've got a coach as experienced as Florent Ibenge, then you know that this is far from over, because all that it needs is one tactical switch and things might turn in favor of Azam.
Kitamba flirting with a second yellow potentially from the referee, who's showing a lot of patience towards the forward. But that patience could wane and Azam could find themselves in a bit of trouble. Derek goes long. Easily defended by Azam, but they lose out. Quick off the block to win the ball. They just can't seem to string 5 or 6 passes together, and Simba would be happy with that all day. Oh, wiggles his way through. Has to be careful right there in that box. Manages to push the attacker back. Cross coming in. Easily defended there. Now Azam trying to get Kitambala to go through. Easily defended. Derek goes all the way back to his keeper. His keeper, again, beautiful build-up from the back. Patient build-up. No pressure, no rush. We're not chasing the game. Come for the ball if you can. Azam do, and they get it. Here we come again.
Simba just showing the quality that they've got in their ranks. You can see even when they're being subjected to too much pressure, they don't seem to panic. They're very, very calm, still composed in their build-up. And of course making life very difficult for Azam.
Hamid being forced to go further up that midfield. He is pretty much taking the role of Fei Toto. He'll be required to connect the forwards with the ball coming through from the back. It is Kitambala, who is really cut a lonely figure at the top, running after everything, getting nothing. Frustrations for him, Kitambala, frustrations for Ibenge. What more can he do?
Well, it's true. I think Kitambala has cut a frustrated figure up front. He has been a bit isolated, and more so after the red card of Faisal Salum, the player that was supposed to probably give him close support. And now he's only left to chase those loose balls and apply a bit of pressure just to see whether he can get something out of them.
Corner comes in, easily headed away, near post. Azam get an opportunity to resettle themselves. Back it comes with an opportunity, tries to wrap his left foot around it, always leaning back. That ball was always going forward. Couldn't get his shoulder over the ball. No threat, Simba with some reprieve. Thirst for Kitambala. He has run himself rugged, looking to hydrate. Not the World Cup, no hydration break here. Play on, boys, play on.
Well, definitely good play from Kitambala. He knew that he couldn't do any better in that particular instance other than try to set up one of his teammates, and he'll probably just be hoping that probably it was somebody else at the end of that and not Lusajo, because as a defender that is not a position that he normally finds himself in. So when you're in unfamiliar territory, at times you tend to fluff your lines.
Chama off. Double substitution there for the team that is currently leading 1-0. Simba bring on Mwalimu Abdallah Selemani. One of the two substitutions to bring some life into that midfield and forward line. Fresh pair of legs. Ooh, that is a dangerous one. Yellow card worthy. High boot. Dangerous play right there. Must have been a painful one for Mendoza. He's still on the ground. Mwalimu wondering why exactly that was given. Barker, head down, probably wondering, what are you doing? You just came home. That is a dangerous tackle.
Well, it certainly is, and I think Mwalimu is probably doing the job that he's been brought to do. because in the last couple of minutes, David Fuentes and Elias Lawi were having too much time and space on the ball. And from the quality that these two centre-backs have in terms of their ball distribution and long passing range, then I think Simba was starting to feel a bit of pressure and the threat that those two centre-backs possess in terms of playing the balls forward.
Confusion between the Simba pair, but easily picked up. Simba with an opportunity to push the ball further forward. Plenty of them in the fray there. Mahema, one of them, goes back to Derek. Simba decide to go down the next flank, the opposite flank. Slow, patient build-up, no rush whatsoever. Kagoma finally coming into this particular game. We've seen for this Azam side, Mao Mkami further up here, and Kagoma will have some interesting battles. We'll keep an eye on that midfield as the two will be coming together quite often. Alimu looking for space, looking to break up play, as you pointed out. It's quite an advantage to come on when your team is leading 1-0 and a man up.
Absolutely, you always have enough motivation to keep working, to keep pushing, because you know that there's something to protect, and that's exactly what Mwalimu is doing to those two centre-backs. You can see that ever since he came on, they've not had as much time as they were having before on the ball. And when you disrupt their build-up from the back, then you can rest assured that their attacks are not going to be meaningful.
Azam looking for a meaningful attack themselves. Slow, patient build-up, nothing being given to them. A lofted ball, here we go. Sets it off for Kitambala, takes a strike. Just wide, easy. No problem whatsoever. Jibrila doesn't even dive, just sees that one out. A rather tired effort, and you can see from Kitambala's body language, he is cutting a tired figure. Yet, with 6 minutes of regulation time to go, Ibenge, Azam teammates, Azam fans are hoping he can stay on and hoping that somehow he can come up with a goal that would send this into extra time, something that they managed against Simba's arch rivals in the semi-finals. A rather tough route to the final, and it just got tougher. 1-0 down, a red card. Azam desperate for a good result. Opportunities few and far between. And now they might just have to switch from attack to defend, and that's exactly what they'll have to do. Oh, he'll question himself there. Could have been a better ball, but instead it finds Azam wingers. Now they have an opportunity yet again to come in from a set piece. They'll be hoping for much, much better delivery. Looks like Hamisi Suleiman is the one who will be standing over this one. He's frustrated. Every single player on Azam more focused on giving the referee an earful than on looking for the goal, which they desperately need.
Yeah, definitely they need to concentrate a little bit more, because time seems to be going by really fast. So concentrating on the referee is not going to help much.
Ball comes flying in. Derek clears it. Mwalimu on it. Azam players desperately trying to get back. You can see some heavy legs. Through ball. Oh, if he had gotten onto that one, he will be looking at that one and thinking, Mahema thinking this could have been a great opportunity. He had a run coming down his right. I think it was Libase, but it just couldn't get his foot to the ball.
Mahema definitely made a very, very good run, and he was just a second late in getting onto that particular ball, which probably would have seen him clear on goal, and maybe that would have given the Simba side the second goal that probably would have buried this game.
Simba dealing with this easily, as they have been doing throughout the course of this particular game. Just cutting off the supply for the 2 fours. No space to look up and pass that ball. Swarming, chasing every ball. You'd be thinking they're chasing the game, playing like they are the ones who are trailing 1-0. Oh, great delivery. Didn't expect it to come to him. He just stood there, almost stunned that it got to him. John Jacks, Kamanga and Gita paired up with Kitamba up front.
John Jacks just needed a better touch, and that probably would have been the golden opportunity that would have changed things in favor of Azam today.
Azam coming back at them, desperately trying to find a way through this one. Abdul Hamisi gives a play, and now Mwalimu with an opportunity shoved off. Referee decides that Lawi has fouled. Mwalimu tells him to calm down. No further action. Lawi's facial expression tells you everything you need to know about this particular game. Just frustratingly shoving him from behind. He did not want to take a gamble.
Lawi definitely didn't need to do that because Mwalimu was not dangerous at all. He had his back, towards Azam's goal. All he needed to do is just put pressure, put a bit of pressure, probably hoping that at some point you're going to get an opportunity to get the ball from him, because he did not have enough support. But by giving them this opportunity, this helps Simba to run down the clock a bit more.
Simba coming at them with the substitute, Richard Mugo, running down that left flank, trying to find some space. Barker barking commands to them as the final minutes to this game dwindle away. Lost for words, deep in thought. Benge will be wondering what else can be done, what his team can pull out of the box. A rabbit out of the hat is what they will need to do. Edie will need... Oh, from behind, he goes through his back. Some cutting
the referee is letting a lot pass right now, because there was another opportunity where he probably would have brought the ball back and given a yellow card to a Simba player that seemed to pull an Azam player that was charging forward, just trying to exploit the spaces that had been left behind by the Simba team.
James Akamingo, the man wondering what more he has to do. But it is Simba who are looking at that clock and seeing 5 minutes standing between themselves and what they would consider destiny. And that is the goal. Yaya losing his footing, comes off him, back of the net. The look on his face is one mixture of frustrations, disappointment, heartbreak, responsibility. I can only imagine what's going through his mind. You can only imagine what's going through the players' minds right now. They will be aware that time is running out. Simba still coming at them right now.
Well, as Yaya ponders probably what would have been had he not touched that particular ball, I think Pascal Msindo will also be looking back at the foul that he committed and thinking that maybe ought to have done better.
Here they come again. It's a flood of red as Azam cannot see any other color. red when it comes to Simba coming forward. Red already for their star man, Faye Toto. But this time the yellow card going the way of the team in. White. Ooh, he'll be reeling from that particular one.
Deruk, of course, is pretending to get injured, but he knows very well what he was doing. He knew that that would have been a very dangerous moment had he let that play go on. Because Kitamba had already taken off and the ball had been played on space, so that would have been a very, very dangerous attack for Azam.
So Deruk in red sees yellow. He'll be okay with that particular one, captain in Simba side. And this is one of those rare opportunities, perhaps one of the final opportunities in this game. They've not had very many. Simba have been resilient. A lot of pushing and shoving, as always. This time, though, Kitambala standing on his own, wanting none of the drama, just looking to cause drama. They decide to pass the ball. This time, they do go long. Simba well organized. Kitambala sends it back in. Oh! It is hand offside. There we go. Assistant referee decides. Bang again. Just a touch to his head, shake of the head, a sigh, complaint, half-hearted complaint when it comes to the official decision. Azam will be looking at that one and thinking, that could have gone our way. Ibenge probably thinking that could have been a penalty. He would definitely have wanted a penalty. That would have suited him and his side very well. The Rake now gets a drink of water, magical water in Africa. A sip of water when you're injured, and somehow players get back on their feet.
I guess that's why they say water is life.
And you can see the man who saw red in the stands just watching proceedings. Faye Toto knows how much his absence has impacted this side, and he knows now with nothing to do but what you and I are doing, watching the game from a distance. He'll be hoping that somehow, against the odds, against the grain, Azam can come up with the goods. The weight of that retaliation, that violent conduct, weighing heavily on him, weighing heavily on his coach, weighing heavily on Azam as well. Just under a minute to go in the CRDB Bank Federation Cup 2025-2026. The Benge on the back foot, facing a tough loss. Another 1-0 loss. Barker, the happier of the two. This just puts Simba in good territory. 5 games leading up to this final, conceding just once in a 3-1 win over Dodoma, Gigi. And they've managed to keep yet the 6th clean sheet as it stands to give them this title. Seconds remain. Seconds separate what started as a dream from becoming reality.
Well, that's probably the last kick of the game that we're going to see coming from Aisha Manula. And this Azam side will understand that it's now or never. But definitely that's not how to go about it. By giving these easy fouls to Simba, all they're doing is helping Simba run down the clock. And of course disrupting their own momentum and tempo. They ought to defend a bit better, try to get the ball back, try to have an opportunity to at least launch one last attack just before the referee blows the final whistle.
Union. They ended up losing that final to the Young Africans on penalties 3-3. After that draw, Abdul scoring all 3 goals for Coastal Union, by the way, in that final. Couldn't find the back of the net in this final. And quite like that 2022 final, it is yet another loss, this time at the hands of Yanga's arch-rivals, Simba. Simba continuing that fine run of form. They have never lost a final match since the competition began, returned back in 2016, and it doesn't look like they will be doing so today. Won their last title back in 2021, beating Yanga 1-0 in Kigoma. Tadeo Luanga was the match winner on that day. They may not have scored today. An own goal from Yaya separating these two sides, but they won't care about finding the back of the net, chasing that golden boot top scorer title, Selemani Mwalimu. And the referee decides that he has had enough. It is absolutely brilliant. Simba with the roar that sends them back to the big boys' title-winning form. They have been building up this momentum for quite some time. They have been knocking on the door in the league, in cup competitions. They may not have won the league, but they have shown that they will be a team to reckon with come 2026-27 season. For today, when it comes to the CRDB Bank Federations Cup Final, it is Simba Sports Club who are champions. Up front, Mpanzu didn't necessarily find the goal, but he did enough. Own goal it may have been, but it counted for Simba. They will not worry about that. They had some great scorers in their side. Mwalimu with 3 goals. He came on, couldn't find the back of the net. Chama, who played majority of this game, silenced and contained, had 3 goals to his name. Perhaps niggling thoughts of chasing that top scorer title was there, but it's the focus from this side that has led them to the finals. They are the winners, focused on a season to build on. Barker will be happy. Simba will be happy. Their fans will be delirious. And football lovers will be satisfied.
Absolutely so. The trophy drought that this Simba side has had to endure for the last couple of years has been brought to a screeching halt by this enterprising group of players. Of course, it wasn't easy, and it wouldn't have been easy. And you can't help but feel that maybe, just maybe, things would have turned out differently had Faisum not received that red card.
It'll be a flurry of red throughout Tanzania. It is red that could have potentially cost Azam an opportunity to get back into this particular game. It is red, the color of victory when it comes to the CRDB Bank Federations Cup, dancing their way to championships, celebrations, smiles all round. They will be singing songs of victory. They will be unstoppable. Joy unfathomable. No one can silence these fans. They have supported their team, who will be grateful for the mistake that changed the trajectory of this particular game. A tight affair from both sides. Great delivery from the man who was supposed to be finding the net. Yaya trying to clear his ranks, unaware that he had more players from his side around him than any danger. Finds the worst touch, back of the net. They run to the cup title. They came into this final favorites. Barker, who has seen success in his career before, will be looking at this one and celebrating. It is Simba who are the champions. 1-0. Dar es Salaam and Tanzania will be red. Congratulations to Simba.
Na asante sana Baraka Mpenja hapa kwenye touchline. Tunakuja kuhitimisha kile kilicho kamilika ndani ya dakika 90 za mchezo na Simba kuibuka na ushindi wa goli 1-0 na hivyo kuwa mabingwa wapya wa CRDB Federation Cup. Na hapa najiunga moja kwa moja na coach Steve Becker ili aweze kutueleza tu furaha yake ya mchezo leo. Coach, congratulations for the victory.
Thank you. Hard game, hard fought. I think a typical cup final. But yeah, credit must go to the players. They've been superb since I've arrived and they deserve this win 100%. This win was for the management, the president, the chairman, the board, all the support staff, and mainly the players, and also to our loved ones back home, and most importantly the fans, that we can reward them with a trophy. So yeah, very pleased with the win. A tough game.
You managed to bring back the happiness to the clubs. It's almost 4 years now. You managed to crown the title. How tough the game was?
Yeah, it was very tough. I think first half we were the better team. We controlled the tempo of the game much better and we created the better opportunities. Kitambala always up front is a difficult player to play against, but I thought first half we played to our principles. Second half, I think it became a 50-50 game, and then obviously when you go 1-0 up and they're down to 10 men, then obviously they put on the second striker and were sort of playing it long. Caused us a little bit of difficulty, but we managed to see it out, and yes, very happy.
Congratulations once again, and I know now the season's beginning.
Yes, thank you very much. We need a rest now, and we come back next year and we fight for every trophy that's on offer.
Thank you, coach. Naam, huyo ni coach Steve Becker akizungumzia furaha yake baada ya kufanikiwa kuleta furaha ndani ya klabu ya Simba kwa ushindi wa goli 1-0 na kuondoa ukame wa vikombe katika klabu ya Simba. Na hapa ni ende moja kwa moja kuongea na semaji la klabu ya Simba, Ahmed Ali. Ahmed, naona una furaha ambayo imepitiliza. Ama tension ndio ilikuwa imepitiliza?
Ilianza tension kwanza, ilikuwa very high. Baadaye imekuja furaha. Sema kweli
miaka minne ambayo Simba ilikuwa ina ukame wa vikombe. Mara ya mwisho mlipoteza vikombe kule na leo mnarudisha kikombe. Hii inaweza kawa ndio safari ya kwanza kuchukua vikombe?
Kwanza tunamshukuru Mwenyezi Mungu kwa kutujalia kupata kikombe hiki. Tumesubiri miaka minne na huu ulikuwa ni mwaka wa 5. Kama tungekosa maana yake ingekuwa ni mwaka wa 5. Tumejaribu mara kadhaa lakini tukawa tukiishia hatua ya nusu finali. Azam mwenyewe ameshawahi kutotoa hatua ya nusu finali pale Mtwara, lakini tumeishia hatua nusu finali mara 3 mtawalia. Tumeishia hatua ya 16 bora pale Kigoma dhidi ya Mashujaa. Baada ya kujaribu kukosea na kupatia, hatimaye tumejipata msimu huu tumesajili wachezaji wazuri, tumeajiri technical staff wazuri. Umoja na mshikamano ndani ya klabu ya Simba ukiongozwa na rais wa klabu ya Simba Mohamed Dewji umefanyikisha hii leo wanasimba kuchukua ubingwa huu. Ni siku kubwa mno kwa wanasimba, tumeisubiri kwa muda mrefu sana. Wanasimba kwa muda mrefu mno hawajapata furaha na faraja ya namna hii, lakini Mwenyezi Mungu ametufungulia leo, tumepata ubingwa huu. Michael Malue, furaha yake haina kipimo katika huu ulimwengu.
Nikushukuru sana, najua yako mengi ya kuzungumza, lakini wakati utakapokuwa umefika nafikiri mtazungumza mengi kuhusiana na ushindi huu.
Naomba nitangaze ratiba ya kesho ya paredi. Kesho kikosi kinarejea Dar es Salaam majira ya saa 4 asubuhi, na baada hapo kuanzia uwanja wa ndege wa Terminal 2 tutaanza paredi letu pale. Nichukue nafasi hii kualika wana uwezo wa kufika Dar kesho saa 4 wafike uwanja wa ndege wa Julius Nyerere Terminal 2. Tutaanza pale paredi letu la ubingwa huu wa kihistoria. Tutaondoka hapo, tutaelekea mpaka Tazara. Tutakunja, tutapita Buguruni yote ile, Uhuru Road. Buguruni tafika mpaka Karume tutakunja barabara ya Kigogo. Tutaenda mpaka Kigogo Sambusa tunakunja kulia, tunapita Jangwani. Pale Jangwani tutakuwa na kashughuli kadogo ka muda mfupi wa masaa 3 mpaka 4. Baada hapo tutarejea mpaka Msimbazi, tutakwenda kwenye klabu yetu pale kutoa shukrani ndani ya klabu yetu. Tutaondoka hapo mdogo kuelekea Coco Beach kwenda kuhitimisha paredi letu. Niwaombe tena wana Simba, huu sio ubingwa wa kawaida hata kidogo. Michael Malue, tumeusubiri kwa muda mrefu kweli kweli, hatimaye imekuja. Lakini ubingwa huu ni chachu ya ubingwa mwingine kuja. Nitakuja kukueleza baadaye kwa nini ubingwa wa kombe la shirikisho ni chachu ya mafanikio makubwa ya klabu ya Simba. Lakini kwa ufupi tu, baada ya Simba kupoteana kwa muda mrefu miaka ya nyuma, tulikuja kurejea kwenye kishindo chetu baada ya kuchukua kombe la shirikisho dhidi ya Mbao pale Dodoma. Baada ya pale ikaja miaka 4 ya faraja, miaka 4 ya kutawala soka la Tanzania, soka la Afrika, tukafanya makubwa kweli kweli. Kwa hiyo sasa tumepata ubingwa huu, maana yake tumefungua mafanikio ya Simba. Captain Michael Malue,
asante sana Ahmed Ali. Ukimwacha Ahmed Ali aendelee kuzungumza, mnaweza mkakesha, kwa sababu ana mambo mengi ya kuizungumzia klabu yake pendwa, klabu ya Simba. Na hapa nizungumze na mchezaji nyota wa klabu ya Simba, mchezaji kinara, mchezaji legend katika klabu ya Simba, na si mwingine hapa, ninamuita Cletus Chota Chama, wanamuita Mwamba Lusaka. Hongera sana kwa ushindi, hongera sana kwa ubingwa. Ni miaka 4 imepita. Inawezekana wewe mwenyewe ulikuwa unatamani kuona Simba ikipata furaha hii baada ya kurejea.
Kwanza nimshukuru Mungu kwa kumaliza msimu na mechi ya leo na kwa ushindi, na imekuwa mechi ya ushindani sana, na kama jinsi ulivyosema, muda mrefu sana hatujachukua kikombe, hata kucheza fainali imechukua muda. Kwa hiyo yote kwa yote nimeshukuru Mungu, tumeshinda na tumejipanga vizuri, tumepambana kama timu. Hongera sana kwa sisi wote kama wachezaji na mashabiki wote wa Simba.
Mechi ya leo ukiambiwa uizungumze, unaizungumza katika upande gani zaidi?
Naweza kusema mechi ya leo ilikuwa na ushindani sana, na naamini kwamba fainali inatakiwa iwe kama hivi. Azam ni timu nzuri, ni timu yenye inapenda kucheza keep possession, na sisi hivyo. Kwa hiyo tumepambana sana na tumeshindana vizuri, kama jinsi ulivyoona hata nafasi tumetengeneza wote, timu zote mbili zimekuwa chache, lakini yote kwa yote mwisho wa siku tukatengeneza nafasi na tukafunga, baadaye tukashikilia hiyo moja bila, na imemalizika.
Nikushukuru sana, nikuache uende uka celebrate na teammate wenzako. Najua una mengi sana kufurahia, lakini una mengi pia ya kuambia wana Simba. Wakati ukifika mtazungumza mengi zaidi.
Asante sana, nashukuru.
Naam, huyo ni Cletus Chota Chama akizungumza hapa, akitueleza furaha yake, lakini pia akizungumzia ugumu wa mchezo jinsi ulivyokuwa. Ni moja kati ya mechi ngumu sana tumeweza kushuhudia hapo. Pascal Msindo aliweza kufanya foul ambayo ilisababisha mpira uliopigwa na Mpanzu ulikuwa unaelekea golini, basi ndio hivyo tena ukamkuta ya zaidi na kushindwa kuzuia ule mpira na kuupeleka wavuni. Hapa nipo na mwenyewe ukisikia mwenyewe basi ndio Cletus Magori. Hongera sana. Angalia wa Tanzania, angalia wana Simba wanataka kukusikia. Unasemaje? Miaka 4 ilipelekea mkapotea kwenye kombe la shirikisho. Miaka 4 shirikisho linawarudisha katika ramani.
Kwa tunamshukuru Mwenyezi Mungu kwa kuweza kufanikiwa leo kutoa kombe. Haikuwa rahisi, kama mnavyoona mechi ilikuwa ngumu sana. Kwa kweli haikuwa mechi nzuri sana kwetu. Unajua pia hali ya kuja Pemba huku na mambo mengine. Kwa kweli tunamshukuru Mwenyezi Mungu. Kikubwa ni kwamba tumeshukua kombe ambalo mara mwisho tulichukua 2021. Kwa hiyo tunamshukuru Mungu sana, napongeza wachezaji wangu, benchi la ufundi, bodi, rais wa klabu Modeuch, pamoja na wapenzi wote na wanachama wote wa Simba. Wamefanya kazi kubwa, wamesupport timu yao mpaka tumeshukua ile kombe pamoja na muungano. Kwa hiyo ni maendeleo makubwa. Kipindi cha miaka 4 hapa hatukuwa tujafanya vizuri kabisa. Angalau mwaka huu tumeanza kurudisha baadhi ya makombe. Nategemea sasa ndio njia imeanza kuweza kurudisha utawala wa Simba Tanzania.
Ni kwa nini ni kama vile historia inajirudia. Simba ilirudi kupitia shirikisho, ikapata mafanikio, ikapotea katika shirikisho miaka 4 na leo na kitu gani ambacho kipo ndani ya shirikisho?
Nafikiri vitu vimejirudia, lakini kiukweli hata hiyo ligi yenyewe kama kungekuwa na maamuzi ya haki, Simba ingechukua hilo kombe. Ila ni kwa sababu hatuwezi kusema, lakini ukiangalia timu yetu ilivyokuwa, tulipata sana changamoto mwaka huu. Ligi imeanza tu, kocha akakimbia. Tukapata kocha mwingine, hakuturidhisha. Tukaja kupata beka Disemba. Tukasajili wachezaji wapya 8, ndio kaanza kufanya kazi. Kwa hiyo fikiria changamoto zote ambazo tumeipitia, lakini tumeweza kupambana, na kama mambo yangekuwa yanavyotakiwa, waamuzi wangekuwa wako sawa, hawana makosa. Tunakubali ni makosa yanatokea katika mpira. Pengine tungekuwa tumechukua double mwaka huu.
Nikushukuru sana Cletus Magori. Natumaini umezungumza kwa niaba ya bodi ya wakurugenzi ya Simba, na ni matumaini yangu ni kwamba sherehe hizi mtakuwa na mengi ya kuzungumza hapo baadaye.
Kabisa tutazungumza. Simba nguvu moja.
Naam, huyu ni Cletus Magori akizungumza kwa niaba ya bodi ya wakurugenzi wa klabu ya Simba, na labda pia nisikie neno ama sauti tu ya CEO wa Simba Zubeda, labda naye anaweza kawa na neno la kuambia wana Simba. Zubeda, hongera sana. Nilikuwa nikikuangalia pale jukwaani, kama unataka kufurahi, kama unataka kulia, lakini mwisho wa siku haya ndio haya yaliyotokea. Hongera kwa ushindi. Nini unataka kuambia wana Simba?
Kwanza ni washukuru sana wana Simba kwa kuwa na uvumilivu. Kwa misimu 5 mfululizo kukosa taji la ubingwa wa ligi kuu ilikuwa ni maumivu kwao, lakini vile vile katika FA tumeona ushindani ulikuwa ni mkubwa, lakini wameendelea kusimama na sisi. Wamekuja kwa wingi kutoka Dar es Salaam mpaka Pemba, na kwenye kila mechi ambazo wamekuwa kitusupport, nasema asanteni sana.
Najua mna mengi ya kuzungumza, lakini mtakavyorudi Dar es Salaam kwenye ile paredi, najua mna mengi ya kuzungumza. Kwa sasa tu neno moja la mwisho la mashabiki ambao wako hapa, lakini kile ambacho wachezaji wamekifanya.
Asanteni kwa kutuamini, naamini katika falsafa yetu ya nguvu moja, Simba nguvu moja.
Naam, asante sana. Huyo ni Zubeda akizungumza hapa nasi kutuelezea furaha yake na kile ambacho kama yeye mtendaji mkuu wa club, lakini vile vile kama ndo tusema mtendaji mkuu, na kile ambacho amekiamini na kile ambacho amekiona. Na yuko hapa mwenyekiti wa wanachama, niko naye mzee wetu Mangungu. Mangungu, hongera kwa ushindi. Furaha yako leo unaweza ukaizungumza katika kiwango cha aina gani?
Kwanza tunashukuru Mungu kwamba timu yetu imeweza kuperform na mpaka kufikia fainali. Ni kwa misimu kadhaa sasa hivi hatujachukua kombe la Confederation. Mara ya mwisho nakumbuka tulichukua Kigoma. Kwa hiyo leo tumekuja kuchukua katika ardhi hii, ni jambo kubwa na ni nzuri kwa performance ya timu yetu. Deserve kupata vikombe vingi, lakini hata hivyo kile tulichopata ndicho ambacho tunashukuru. Kwa hiyo tunawapongeza wachezaji wetu, tunawapongeza mashabiki ambao wametunga mkono mpaka kufikia hapa. Wengi wamesafiri hata hii leo kuja hapa kutoka Dar es Salaam na mikoa mingine ya jirani kuja kuunga mkono timu. Kwa hiyo tunashukuru, mambo yameenda vizuri.
Mechi ulikuwa unaitazama katika taswira ya aina gani katika kipindi cha kwanza na cha pili? Najua tension ilikuwa kubwa, timu zilikuwa zote zimepata nafasi chache na nafasi moja imeweza kutumia.
Sorry guys, I was dealing with the captain. I didn't hear any of that, but you're all right? Cool. Okay.
But so confident, so brave in the air, so assertive. And look at the space he's got also. Even there, he's got the opportunity to get that offload away. But Damon Willemse, solid today.
It's a steal against the throw from Chesham. Quickly shifted into the midfield.
9 out.
Seb Atkinson. And putting the ball in behind South Africa's defensive line, but off a turnover at the line-out. They had wanted more.
Yeah, what he wanted though, it's a good kick, but not too long, just for something for Fairweather Bursa to chase. Springboks have played on.
You pulled out. Yeah. He's pulled out.
And Hanekom spotting space on the fringe of the ruck.
Okay, hands away, don't use it.
Jasper Wiese, desperate to carry, but not making headway that time.
Let it come, it's inside.
Grant Williams just asking the question, is this inside the 22? So can Manie Libbok kick directly into touch? The answer is yes.
What's happening is also England, well, they're playing the game on the right side of the field, so getting attacking sets, but no benefit or no return from it. When South Africa had the same opportunity, hence the 17-0, they got return from it. England getting some good attacking sets, but not finishing it off.
Alex Coles, and again they move the ball away from the line out quickly into the wider channels. Fairweather Bursa and Murley, with a space for him with Fairweather Bursa out to his outside. Willemse, crucial tackle. Front foot momentum ball.
It was ripped by Green in the
for England. No knock on. Cheslin Colby went in with the rip. Atkinson.
No, six, don't come in. Out.
Pressure on South Africa's try line once again. Martin. And Hayes in with the clean. Quick ball for Van Portfleet. Finn Smith. Then Fainali with a penalty advantage being shown to England. Chesham taken towards touch. We've seen England go with tap penalties from these positions, and Genge is over.
Oh, that's power from Genge. That is power from Genge. Stadium quiet here. But England had been asking some good questions. Eventually they get return. The strong man, the pit bull, Ellis Genge, gets it over this time. No one around him. He says, give it to me. I'll do this by myself. Drops the shoulder. Over he goes. Ellis Genge, powerful work from him. He is the man that's there to drive the toughness. And there he did it perfectly for England.
An 8th test try for Ellis Genge in his 81st test match. A first against the Springboks.
Look at just his body position, his ability to drop there. I think it was Thomas Tutoy that tried to make the tackle. Genge drop shoulder, hammers it up.
Never been on the winning side in an English shirt against South Africa. 3 previous attempts.
Look, you guys have still got water off, and then I can put pressure on them. Yeah.
Conversion.
Okay, let's go now.
Quickly added by Finn Smith. South Africa's lead reduced to 7.
Okay, straight away
astonishing
now,
start with 3 tries inside the first quarter. Mani Livok again, not surprisingly, goes deep with the restart. Trying to pin England down in their 22-meter area with just about a minute and a half remaining on the yellow card clock for Kirtley Arendse. Van Portfleet's kick. Brilliant again from Willemse, but the counter-attack coming in from England.
It's all momentum play.
Outstanding from Malcolm Marx. Pick up the loose ball, stay on his feet. Waiting for support now. It's Williams' turn to hoist. Fainali couldn't control Marcus Smith. Eventually brought down by Ruan Nokia.
Villiers almost doing the splits there.
I need you to support your body weight better.
He's been fighting hard at the breakdown, looking for that steal. But really he's usually a fantastic decision maker when it comes to the breakdown. Reads the ref's interpretations, but just desperation from De Villiers to get that steal. Isolated runner. Smith did well here. He did well, danced himself out of trouble.
Over the 15 goes Jamie George for Ben Earl. There was just green grass in front of him. Kirtley Arendse is back.
Yeah, that's good work. Also England knowing that Kirtley Arendse is off, so there is space there. That's why they went down that side with a bridge pass over the top. Grant Williams does well to cover that space, actually. He does excellently to cover that space. So that's England realizing there's no wing at home, so get it over into space there. Williams rescues the day.
Do you want the scrum or do you want the line out? Do you want the scrum or do you want the line out? Cool. Let's
go. Scrums have been a rarity in this test match.
Coach!
I think Steenekamp knocked that ball on purpose just so he could get a scrum.
Fine! Look at his angle! Set!
Finn Smith takes it flat.
Get out! Get out!
Atkinson with the carry. South Africa thought they'd won a turnover. Now an excellent kick from Finn Smith, but from just inside South Africa's half. So a line out to the Springboks in their own 22.
England showing some fight now. They had a good scrum. They started going forward
50-22
on the England side, forced to use it.
50-22.
But little attacking kicks behind the South African defense are working well for the English. The Springboks here will just want to get this in and out and go have some oranges.
50-22.
Well, it's been changed. It's been changed to an England throw for a 50-22.
Important set here. Important set for England.
6+1.
Important set for both teams. One score of any description for England gets them within a converted try of the Springboks going into half-time. Van Poortvliet and Tommy Freeman recycle the ball quickly.
Onside, number 4.
And Chesham with some soft hands for Martin. George Martin gets over for the try. That is a big moment in the game. England closing the gap to 5 with a kick to come. After surrendering a 17-point deficit, they are right back in this at half-time.
Yeah, well executed. The ball behind the back. But you can see the forwards lurking down the blind side. Big George, gorgeous George at the moment, goes over for England. Drops the shoulder. Look at that power from him, the big man.
Thank you.
Reckon 6 foot, 120-something kilograms. Down the wing, just before halftime at altitude. Brings England back.
20 seconds.
And it's a first test try for George Martin. One that he will savour. Finn Smith to reduce South Africa's lead to just 3 points, which he has done. Stunning finish to the first 40 minutes from England. They go into the changing rooms with their tails up. South Africa with tries from Du Toit, Colby and Arendse, Thomas Du Toit. And a conversion by Cheslin Colby. Tries for England by Ellis Genge and George Martin, both converted by Finn Smith. Half-time at Ellis Park. South Africa 17, England 14.
We found a way to annoy this guy again.
Hello, New Zealand. I asked BNZ to stop investing in kids who will grow up to dunk on me. They did the opposite. Thankfully, there aren't enough coaches to train these little monsters. But BNZ is trying to help fix that. So I'm switching tack. Bank of New Zealand, keep going.
Pure determination. And in a community like Lawrence Heights that is so often stereotyped for the people that live there and the things that go on there, Brian and Ann said, Ali Ahmed transcends everything. He is a pure son of that community. And Rick, when we talk about Maxime Crépeau, it's very easy to look at his broken leg as the only bit of adversity, but he has overcome so much more than that.
Well, I want to take you back to 2018. Maxime Crépeau was buried on the end of the bench with Major League Soccer's Montreal Impact. Julian de Guzman saw something. He saw a reclamation project, in his words to me. He said he was running, he was general manager at the time of the USL's Ottawa Fury and asked Montreal to loan him Crépeau for the season. Crépeau moved over. The team started with 4 losses, which gave Crépeau the chance to start finally. Over 31 games, Crépeau had 15 shutouts, moved from there to Vancouver in the MLS, and we've seen what happened since then.
KJ, as we are moments away from kickoff, who is on your mind? Who has overcome the odds?
Yeah, you know, it's an absolute privilege to be out here. It's not lost on me how we get to share this pitch with these players behind us for a little bit. And their journey to get here, it's just a privilege to try and tell some of that to Canada. I think in Moise Bombito and the journey that he's had, as a young kid growing up in Montreal, rejected by the MLS Academy, but having the gratitude to say, it's okay, we've got a big province, maybe I'm not good enough to make it. And then Rocco Placentino making that kid become a man at CS Saint Laurent, and then having to go to a junior college in Iowa because he didn't have the grades. In the last World Cup, he sat on his couch in his dorm in New Hampshire University watching the World Cup, never believing that he would represent Canada. Today, you can make the case that he's arguably the most important player. Against the Morocco side, they're going to have a lot of the ball on this pitch, and he's going to have to lead that. You think of Luc de Fougereau next to him. I just spoke to his dad, John, who sent a LinkedIn message to Canada Soccer to say that my son is Canadian. Richie Laryea almost quit the game when Orlando no longer wanted him. It's a team full of perseverance. It's the Canadian way, and today they get to play in the 90th game out of
The Canadian way. Jacob Schaffberg grew up in a hockey-mad province and wanted to be a soccer player, and his family invested in him and made sure that he what his family had to do, selling their house to invest in his dream. This isn't a mountain that they have to climb.
It's an amazing thing. Almost every one of the players on this team at one point or another was told, you're not good enough, you don't fit for us. And look at the odds they've all beaten.
They are good enough now for this moment.
Yeah, the other thing about these guys, they're just a really good group of guys worthy of you cheering for. First point in Toronto, first win in Vancouver. There's the scene in Vancouver, the first knockout stage win in LA, and we wonder if more history awaits today in Houston, Texas, less than a half an hour from kickoff between Canada and Morocco in the first match of the round of 16.
This hour of TSN's pregame broadcast is presented by Vistaprint. Print your possible.